Imagine hearing the same rumor over and over again. A young servant enters the household of a powerful noblewoman. Then she disappears. Another servant arrives. She disappears too. Then another, and another. At first it sounds like gossip, the kind of story people invent to explain the unexplained. But the rumors refuse to die. They spread across villages, across years, and eventually far beyond the castle walls where they began. Because according to those who live nearby, the disappearances were not random. They seemed to point to the same place, the same household, the same woman, Elizabeth Báthory. But before we dig deeper, if you're drawn to the historical anomalies, mysteries, hidden contradictions, and forgotten questions that history never fully answered, subscribe and join us. Elizabeth Báthory was one of the most powerful women in the ancient Hungary who owned a remote castle. To some, she was an aristocrat managing vast estates. To others, she was something far more frightening. What made the rumors so unsettling was not any single disappearance. It was the pattern, because if the stories were true, people had been noticing something was wrong for years. And that raises a question that still echoes centuries later. If servants kept disappearing, why did nobody stop it? To understand that mystery, we first need to step inside Elizabeth Báthory's world, a world of wealth, isolation, and growing suspicion. Elizabeth Báthory was one of the most powerful noblewomen in Hungary. She owned vast estates, controlled large households, and lived far from the centers of power. Much of her life was spent behind the walls of remote castles, surrounded by servants, guards, and household staff. From the outside, nothing seemed unusual, but over time, unsettling stories began to circulate. Servants were said to arrive and then disappear. Families reportedly asked questions. Rumors spread from village to village, yet the stories remained just that, rumors. No major investigation followed. No immediate intervention came. And that is where the mystery deepens, because one missing servant might be explained away, even two or three. But when the same stories continue appearing year after year, people start to notice a pattern. And according to those who live nearby, that pattern was becoming harder to ignore. As the years passed, the stories did not disappear. They multiplied. More reports emerged of servants who had entered Elizabeth Báthory's household and were never seen again. Some accounts claimed local families became reluctant to send young women to work on her estates. Others described whispers spreading through nearby communities. The details often differed, but the pattern remained surprisingly consistent. People arrived, then seemed to vanish from the story. What makes this so strange is that the rumors were no longer isolated. Enough people were talking about them that questions were beginning to spread beyond the villages themselves. And yet, despite the growing suspicion, life inside Bathory's world appeared to continue as normal, at least from the outside. If something unusual was happening behind castle walls, it remained hidden. For the moment, but before long, the rumors would become too widespread to ignore. Eventually, the rumors reached people who could no longer ignore them. Questions were asked, witnesses were questioned, and for the first time, the whispers surrounding Elizabeth Báthory began moving into the open. But that only deepened the mystery. If people had noticed the pattern for years, why did action come so late? Centuries later, historians still debate parts of the story. But one question remains. If so many people claim to see the pattern, why did it continue for so long? And perhaps the strangest question of all, at what point does a rumor stop being a rumor and become something people choose not to see? Drop your thoughts below, and if you're drawn to human anomalies and hidden historical patterns beneath reality, like this video, share it, and hit subscribe.